Blog Talk Radio.
Welcome to Blog Talk Radio's The Incoherent Ramblings of C&E. Christopher and Eric are your hosts, coming to you live from Greensboro, North Carolina, as we do every Thursday from 6 to 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Our intro music is provided from the Podshow PodSafe Music Network. Check it out at music.podshow.com. Also, feel free to email your topics for discussion, suggestions, and comments to incoherentramblings@live.com.
This is Christopher. This is Eric. September 24th, 2009, here in the internationally famous C&E Studios, Greensboro, North Carolina. How are you today, Eric?
I'm doing fantastic. How are you, Chris?
I'm doing quite well. We are here. It is officially autumn.
It is. TGIF.
Yeah, thank God it's fall.
Yeah. We should make T-shirts.
We should. It's actually been a fairly nice day today.
It's supposed to get cool towards the end of the week. Well, I guess
Friday, I think, a high of like 65, I think. Sounds good to me.
I love fall. It's my favorite time of the year.
Yeah,
weather's perfect. Football starts. You get the new shows starting on TV. It's wonderful.
Yes, it is. Let's say hello to our most loyal listener and our UK correspondent,
Indeed.
Stuck in the 70s. Here with us to tough it out again. We will lull him to sleep, and he will be refreshed tomorrow morning for work.
Giving us tips on how to wind down
Yes.
after a long day at work.
Yes, after a long day at work, I think the tip is to put a drop of whiskey in your coffee.
Yes.
We have a sneaky suspicion it may be more than a drop. But he is always joining us. And
One drop for every drop of coffee.
Yes. 1-for-1 ratio.
Yes.
So he is here.
Good for the last drop.
Yes. Eric is of Irish descent.
I am.
Yeah.
My
Can we say your last name?
My grandfather, McMahon.
McMahon.
Yes. And my grandfather was from Dublin.
Yes. So
Thank God I'm happy.
Second generation? 1, 2, third? I don't know. Your grandfather was Irish.
My grandfather was Irish.
There you go. So something you have in common with our UK correspondent. So yes, it is fall, and it is. We are happy. Tomorrow, we are having 2009 Fall Chili Fest.
Yes.
Yes, we are. What? Is it going to be
What
tomorrow?
kind are you making, or is it are you going to surprise us?
What do you mean? What kind?
I mean, chili.
Oh,
If you're doing something special.
Oh no, I'll give you what I'm putting in it. I'm going to put a pound of ground beef, a red onion, a white onion, 3 jalapenos, 2 cans of diced tomatoes, 2 cans of tomato sauce, some chili seasoning, and a can of tomato paste. And it will be probably about an hour and a half.
No black beans and
yeah. Black beans, light kidney beans, and dark kidney beans. I was going to do steak, but I had several people suggest ground beef is their preference, so I'm going to use ground beef.
That's what I usually do is ground beef.
So, yes, 3 kinds of beans.
Speaking of jalapenos, not to get off track here real quick, but at the grocery store, I found jalapeno relish. I bought a couple jars of it because it just sounded so good.
Well, you know, I'm a jalapeno snob.
Right. Well, this is...
I like them fresh, not pickled.
Mount Olive.
Not
pickled.
No.
This is not going to be like your standing.
No.
But it did sound interesting.
It probably is pretty good. Maybe on a hot dog. Some sauerkraut. I don't know. Jalapeno.
And I love banana peppers and never think to buy them at the store. Had coupons. Bought me some.
I grew some banana peppers one year.
And?
They were good. Yeah. They're not pickled, so it's a little bit different, but they have a firmer texture.
Right.
But they do have a really good taste. I also grew some Hungarian wax peppers, which like you would make paprika from. Now I know why they use them to make paprika. They were not so good as peppers. I tried them in salads. I tried cooking them. I tried putting them like in a stew, cooking them down, like frying down. They just were not very good. So I have not grown them since. So yes, Chili Fest. Are you going to make chili? I mean, I really don't know if all three of us need to make chili.
But I didn't know it.
No, make some. I mean,
what else would you make for a Chili Fest?
I don't know. Brownies?
I do have some brownie mix.
Yeah. So yeah, we are going to have at our friend David, who is not listening right now because he's mowing his grass. What kind of excuse is that? Mowing his grass. Anyhow,
he's got a kid.
Yeah, he does. Who's probably playing video games right now while he mows the grass.
That would not fly at my dad's house.
No, nor at your grandfather's.
Nor my grandfather.
No, he would give you some whiskey and tell you to get to cutting the grass. So we are going to go be picking him up after the show. We are forgiving. You don't listen to our show, we will forgive you and still go out to eat with you.
Well, he can listen to it, just not live.
Right. He won't listen to it.
Probably not.
No. Who are we kidding?
He will on the 66th episode.
We got him for 33 and 34. We should be happy with that, right?
Get him for 66 and 68.
So there we go.
I guess we should tell people how to call in and contact us.
Yes, if you wanted to call in, how could someone do that, Eric?
Reach us at 646-716-6928.
Or they could use Click to Talk, which our mystery caller from a couple of weeks ago did.
Yes.
We have yet to figure out the true identity. You can go to blogtalkradio.com/incoherent ramblings. Listen to the show live. Listen to past shows. Download past shows. You can email the link of the show to a friend.
Which several of our shows today came from listeners.
Yes. Yes.
Some of our stories
yes.
today.
We have a couple stories come from listeners. And we appreciate that.
Absolutely.
Even if they aren't good.
It makes our job easier.
It does make our job easier. Less to look up.
Yes.
They can also...
and we can't be counted upon to find every good story.
No, we really can't. We can't. Like this, there's a lot of stories that come out of New Zealand. We can't get all those. We don't have access. If it doesn't make it to the AT, we have nothing for New Zealand listeners.
Right.
New Zealanders.
And I'm sure there's a lot of good stories come from New Zealand.
Well, are you kidding? It's a great country. I'm sure there are. I would like to go to New Zealand.
It's up there on my list. Probably number 3.
Number 3?
Maybe number 2.
Well, what's number 1?
Italy.
Italy.
So much history.
I think my number 1 would have to be Thailand.
Freaky deaky.
No, just like the pictures of the beaches and whatnot that I've seen there.
I'm sure that's it.
Actually, I don't remember what country it was. It was in the southern central part of Africa. It may have even been South Africa, but I'm not sure. There was this lush resort. There was this lush resort where the grass looked like green carpet, or the women flocked like the salmon of Capistrano. Just this absolute lush, like Garden of Eden type resort. You would have never believed it would have been a third world country in the middle of, the equator or whatnot.
But you had all the zoo animals walking around.
The monkeys throwing poop at you. But it was absolutely incredible. But it was like only the richest of the rich could go there. It's like $30,000 a night or something insultingly ridiculous. So.
Hawaii was high on my list, but I think I would pick New Zealand over Hawaii.
I would too.
Yeah.
Well, you could stop in Hawaii on your way to New Zealand. Go from the West Coast. Why not?
There you go.
Yeah.
Not to get off on a real estate tangent, but I read today that it was the top 10 most and least affordable homes in the United States.
Hawaii?
Honolulu was one of the least affordable homes in the United States.
Well, we have a friend that lives in Hawaii.
Dayton, Ohio was one of the most affordable.
Oh, really?
Housing.
Well, that should tell you
where I'm from. Yeah, because it's good if you're buying a house, not so good if you own one there.
What does that say about the quality of?
It says that they're hurting financially, like a 12% unemployment rate.
My parents are on a cross-country trip and are currently in Colorado. And
you cut your mom's conversation short, and they were calling.
We've been on the phone for 30 minutes. Long distance. It was on the cell phone. I pay the bill.
You try to save yourself money.
Exactly. She's at my uncle's house, and his neighbor said that, I don't know, I haven't looked it up, but he claimed Colorado was like 34% unemployment.
Holy, no way.
He said it was the highest in the country. Maybe it was his county or the area of Colorado they were in. I don't know. It sounded like an astronomical figure. I'm not really sure how accurate it was. Anyhow, he's out of work and has been hurting since he lost his job, as have many people.
Detroit was one of the more affordable, and of course, being right there is insane. Speaking of Colorado, Denver's my dad's favorite spot in the United States.
Oh, yeah?
Never been. Couldn't speak on it intelligently.
I've been a couple times.
And a house at Rankin, it's
a nice enough place. I don't.
You ever been to Jackson Hole where Luke's?
Wyoming? No.
Luke's a big fan of?
I have never been to Wyoming. I have received a mail from an author who lives in Jackson Hole. I won't go into the contents of it because it may not be radio friendly.
Was that the author who wanted us to?
No.
Review his book on our show?
No. This was quite a few years ago, sending an answer to a letter they had received. Long story, I'll tell you after the show.
Right.
It was a short letter, but I wouldn't want to repeat it on the air. Let's put it that way. But I've never been to Wyoming. No, that's one of the, I've been to a lot. When I sit down and look at the map and count all the states I've been in quite a few of them. I really have. One of my fantasies, you're talking about New Zealand and all that, one of my fantasies is to be able to go to all the Major League Baseball parks in the country. If I were independently wealthy, I would probably map that out and do that one summer, just over the summer, just hit all of them. I've always really thought that would be such a cool thing to do.
A lot of new ballparks popping up.
Right. You'd have to revise it every couple of years.
There you go.
So that may not be interesting for those that don't like baseball, but
my nephew Owen's birthday is today, and he had to write a story at school about what his favorite thing he did over the summer was. And I'm telling you, they had a pretty amazing summer. They traveled all over the United States. They went to lots of amusement parks, and his favorite thing was going to the Reds game. So, Synergy Park.
So it's not. So happy birthday to Owen.
Happy birthday,
Owen.
Owen.
We know that his father is listening to our show, even though his mother does not.
Avid listener.
He downloads every single show we have.
He does.
So tell Owen happy birthday for us.
I already called on the way.
Already called, huh? How old is he today?
He's 5.
I was going to guess 5. Just a little chap, so I figured he's probably about 5 or 6. So we have Bella joining us in the studio. The show's official mascot.
Giving me a bath.
Vicious pit bull. I've been thinking about entering a few fights. I think she would fare pretty well.
Speaking of fight, I didn't print the story, but I saw one today about a child care that at night they were doing dog fights in.
Good gracious.
I knew that would just irritate you, so I didn't print it.
Was Michael Vick there?
Yes.
But yeah, I'm glad you brought that up, and I'm glad I said Michael Vick. I have a question.
Okay. I think
we're both football. We both enjoy football, both pro and college.
Yes.
That's American football for our European listeners. There's no doubt that Michael Vick's a natural-born athlete. I, for one, don't think he's a good quarterback, but he's definitely an awesome athlete.
Right.
Why would you, as the Philadelphia Eagles, unless it's just a PR stunt, go out, offer him a contract, paying him millions of dollars to come back up Donovan McNabb? Donovan McNabb, unfortunately, gets hurt, and then you're going out to find Jeff Garcia or someone else to play in his stead because why? Isn't that why you got Michael Vick? I'm confused. And this whole he's not in game shape and whatever.
He's played some. He's already had a touchdown pass or two.
Right. He played in the preseason.
Right.
He was in shape when he may not have been in football shape, but he was in physical shape when he got to camp. the guy's an awesome athlete. You're paying him $2 million a year.
Right.
McNabb goes down. That's why you have the backup quarterback. No, they go out and sign Jeff Garcia for a game. I'm confused by that. Can I get someone to hire me and pay me $2 million to not do anything?
Right.
I'm confused. I don't know. That left, I'm not a big fan of his anyhow. That kind of left a bad taste in my mouth with the Philadelphia Eagles. I'm not sure.
I can't remember if we even talked about it on the show, but do you think it was right for him to be able to come back and play?
Well, yeah, we did touch on that briefly.
Yeah, we did.
My opinion is yes, simply because my problem, of course I had a problem with what he did.
Right.
My true problem is with the fact that he is with the judicial system. The fact of the matter is, like him or not, think if it was fair or not, he paid the debt that was given to him.
Right, that's exactly how I feel.
So they said, because of your crime, you have to pay X to society. He paid X. So as far as I'm concerned, he has paid his debt that he owes. So he should be allowed to, he shouldn't be allowed to maybe be a dog breeder or something like that, a pit bull breeder. But if he needs to play football, then, I'm okay with it. However, I don't think that the debt he paid to society was sufficient, personally. But that isn't his fault.
If a plumber was convicted for dog biting and then he got out of jail, he can go back to be a plumber.
Right.
So I don't see what the difference is.
I truly don't. I don't have a problem with him and him being able to resume his career. However, I don't think a year in a cushy prison and then, being set free to go earn $2 million to apparently not do anything, I don't see that as justice. There was a quote that I'm not going to look at. You and I often discuss, other people say argue, but we often discuss our opposite views on the death penalty, which aren't as opposite as we think they are. And there was a quote from Thomas Paine or somebody. It said, and I can't quote it exactly, but it said something about to let the guilty go free is to punish the innocent, or something like that. And that's how I feel about Michael Vick. Although obviously it's not as bad as rape or murder. However, I don't think it was an appropriate. I don't think justice was served.
Right.
So, but nonetheless, he paid his debt, and he is I think he should be allowed to play football. Now, the Eagles will only let him.
And I hear what you're saying as far as not feeling justice was served. But in addition to his jail time, he did lose millions. That was a pretty serious.
I'm not feeling sorry for him there.
I'm not feeling sorry for him.
That wasn't punishment. That was because of his own stupidity.
I realize that, but it was. While it wasn't a fine that he had to pay, it was a penalty that he incurred as a result
of his own volition.
Mm-hmm. But
I don't blame Arthur Blank. He felt betrayed by Michael Vick.
Right.
He said,
or any of the products that he promoted.
Right. Well, but the owner of the Falcons point blank said, "Are you guilty?" And Vick said, "No, I did nothing." And he backed him. And then when it came out that he was guilty, he was upset, and rightfully so. And he said, "I want my money back."
Yeah.
So you're right. That was not a punishment or a fine. That was just a result. So he had that's a life lesson for him. Hopefully he has changed. Well, who knows?
Rehabilitated.
Yeah. We know all about rehabilitation. America excels at it.
I didn't see the show, but I think Dr. Phil says, that type of behavior can lead to sociopathic behavior.
I said that when it first came out. What did I say? If you can do that to any living creature, you can do it to any living creature. If you can pick a dog up and slam it to the ground and repeatedly until it's dead, you can do that to a child or any person or any creature. I find that behavior to be indicative of someone that I don't think can commingle in society. I don't think that's why he served his time, and so that part I'm okay with him going back in. But I personally don't think he should be in society, because if you can do that to a living being, there's something wrong with you mentally. So I mean, he put the dog underwater till it drowned. He hooked, electrocuted its genitals. That's a psychopath.
Right.
That's not a normal person. I bet he wet his bed as way past the age he was supposed to stop doing it.
Well, I guess we should get on our good stories.
Let's do it. Let's stop talking about Michael Vick. Trash. So I have a good story.
Well, go ahead.
And this comes from England, from the UK. We should have hit up our UK correspondent just for a little extra flair on this story. But here is an English woman, Ruth Day, a 64-year-old retiree from Northern England, had the day of her life on the golf course last week. She shot 2 holes in one in the same round. A hole-in-one in itself is usually pretty amazing, she said, but I couldn't believe it when I did the same thing 10 holes further on. The feat is rare. Golf Digest estimates the odds against a golfer having 2 holes in one in the same round, 67 million to 1. But just last week, former Pittsburgh Pirates pitcher Steve Blass made 2 holes in one in a span of 11 holes during the team's annual alumni golf outing. She shot her first ace on the 149-yard third hole on September 9th. She added the second one on the 161-yard 13th. The first time it happened, my friend was the one saying, it's going in, but I was ambivalent. Then the lads in front put their thumbs up and said it had gone in. I was pleased because it was my first hole-in-one.
I'm going to ask you if she'd ever had one before.
Huh?
That was impressive.
It was the second one that was really amazing because it was a more difficult hole. We saw it turn, and then we went searching for it. We went searching for it round the back to see where it was. We couldn't find it, and after a while, we found it in the hole. She said she's been playing for about 10 years. Some people go their entire life and never get a hole-in-one. I think there's only a very small number of people around the world who have done it twice in one round. So that's a pretty good one.
It is pretty good. Mm-hmm. Speaking of holes-in-one,
real quick, we had a comment. Our UK correspondent say it's news to him that a woman's playing golf. Oh, no offense to our female listeners, because we don't have any. Oh, that's a good one. It's like a woman driving a NASCAR.
Yeah.
What? Okay. So
my business partner played. She was quite good.
Okay.
I dated a girl in college who was pretty amazing. She played for Elon College on their team. Anyway, Utah man nails $1 million hole-in-one.
Wow.
So while he only got one,
it was a lot more profit.
I think he earned more than your person who got 2. Springfield, Utah, September 21st, a Utah man who was a late addition to a charity golf tournament made a hole-in-one during a contest for $1 million prize. Jason Haggart shot Tuesday on the 150-yard hole cut in the driving range at Red Ledges Golf Resort near Heber City was the winner. He hit a 9-iron about 10 feet past the hole, and the ball rolled back and in, giving the 35-year-old restaurant manager the $1 million prize.
Wow.
The contest was part of Mark Eaton's Celebrity Golf Classic. Haggart says he almost didn't play in the tournament because he had a sore wrist and ended up using his brother's clubs.
I bet he is glad he did.
And the tournament benefits a fund at the University of Utah's Diabetes Center. So, 2 good golf-related stories to start our day.
That would be can you imagine? I remember watching, I was at a basketball game and it was live. It was not for $1 million. However, it was one of those shoot from the box, shoot from the foul line, shoot a three-pointer, and then shoot from half court. Right. And for each level made, it went up in the amount of money they won. Right. And it was a young man. He was probably 17 or 18. He made the first, and he made the free throw, then he made the three-pointer, and you're like, okay, I mean, very good form, and goes to half court. And it seemed like it was like $10,000. It was a substantial amount of money. And when he puts up the half-court shot, I mean, it looked like he was shooting from the foul line. I mean, it was very effortless. And he and as soon as it let go, you know, like sometimes when you see Kenny Griffin Jr. hit the ball,
right?
You know it's a home run. They don't even have to show it. You know it's a home run. You knew this was going in. From the time it left his hand, you just knew it was, and the place was silent. And he was sitting there, his fist was clenched. He knew it was going in too.
Right.
Nothing but net. And he literally, I'm not exaggerating, he crumpled to the ground. Like, he was so excited, he literally crumpled on the ground. They had to help him up. Can you imagine if it had been for $1 million? No. I mean, you're like, it's not going in. It's not going in. Oh, my God, I just won $1 million. So, I mean, that's a pretty amazing story. Good for him.
Well, it's like, you know, these people who go out on the football field to try and throw that one pass into that hole the size of a football, which you almost never could ever do.
Right.
And they're under all this great pressure in front of a crowd they're never in front of.
Right.
And playing, you know, throwing this one shot for a ton of money, and then you see people do it.
Right.
It's just like insane.
Or how about, like, you know, kicking a field goal from 50 yards or you know, something like that, and then they nail it. And, you know, a lot of people say, I wish it was me, but, and, you know, it would be obviously cool if it's you. But if it was you, you probably wouldn't make it.
Right.
It's really exciting. I'm excited when I see someone else, you know, win something like that. I think it's a very cool thing.
It is.
Well, good for this guy. He helped diabetes and made himself $1 million richer.
Good story all around.
I'm telling you what. I wonder if the diabetes, if the organization's going to hit him up for a donation. It's tax deductible.
I guarantee you.
Probably a lot of organizations will be contacting him in the near future.
What's his number?
Look at him on the show. It's not tax deductible, but we will take a donation. Yes. We seem to, over the past few shows, have some stories about old people, like 117. The world's oldest woman dies. This 107-year-old woman is on her 22nd husband, getting ready to divorce him and get her 23rd husband.
Right.
Who's like 30 years old. That's kind of weird to me. Well, here's the world's oldest man, Great Falls, Montana. 113 years old Monday. It was such a big deal that the governor showed up and presented his cake to him. Anyhow, I won't read the whole story, but basically, he got a check for $10,000, which he donated to a fund for kids that are unfortunate. He lived through the Great Depression. He's made a lifelong. He's lived a long life. I'm tongue-tied. Sorry. He attributes his long life to eating well and keeping physically and mentally active. He also says he takes 1 aspirin a day. So there you go. You want the secret to long life?
I do that.
Physically and mentally active and take 1 aspirin a day.
I do that.
His former employee.
Taking aspirin, I'm not sure I'm physically active. I might live to 80.
Earlier this month, his former employer, BNSF Railway, presented him with a check for $50,000 to be donated to the Shriners Hospital in honor of his service. So through his long life, he's got $10,000 and $50,000 donated to charity by organizations.
Just by not dying.
Just by not dying. So I thought that was a pretty good story.
Good story. Speaking of old people.
Let me guess.
Story.
An old lady gets run over.
No.
And you're going to make that into a good story.
No, this story is a good story. This is about a woman who's like 99 years old.
Mm-hmm.
She is. Actually, I'm sorry. She passed away last Saturday. So I'm not sure it is a good story. I guess I should have read that. But
I have a good story here about this orphan that got mauled by a puma. You want to hear it?
But at the time she passed, she was 99. She had no less than 1,400 children, grandchildren, great-grandchildren, and even great-great-grandchildren.
Wow. Yeah, you were telling me this. The story amazes me.
She and her husband had 7 boys and 4 daughters among the ultra-Orthodox Jewish community. Large families are seen as a blessing. Each of their 11 children followed in Rachel's footsteps, resulting in 150 grandchildren. In turn, these descendants had 1,000 children of their own. In the last few years, several hundred great-great-grandchildren started to appear.
It's mind-boggling.
That is.
I pulled up a calculator and did the math, and it works. It still seems unbelievable.
According to one unnamed grandchild Wednesday, Grandma knew all of her descendants by name.
Wow.
That's amazing.
That is amazing. You know, I can believe it. It's not that profound and that not that large, but my father was one of 12. Mm-hmm. And most of his siblings have more than one child, multiple children. Some of the siblings have 5, 6, 7. My mother was one of 8, and all of her siblings, except for the one that passed away when she was, I think, 17, all of her siblings have multiple children. So I have quite a few first cousins. And I'll tell people, you know, I counted up one time, you said I have X amount of first cousins, and they're like, oh, first, second, third. I was like, no, first cousins, and they didn't believe me. And when we went through it, I mean, it's not that large, but I mean, it's a large number of first cousins that I have. And then, you know, because both families were so tight-knit, like, I refer to all of my mother and father's aunts and uncles as aunt and uncle, even though they're great aunt and uncle.
Right.
I refer to them as, you know, uncle this, aunt this. So between their aunts and uncles and my aunts and uncles, and my parents' first cousins are my second cousins, and because it's such a tight-knit family, if you go beyond my first cousins and just go to people that I consider cousins that I know by first name and I consider myself close to, it's, you know, several hundred. And so, I mean, if you look at this lady, she has 11 children. They all, you know, they have 150. Those 150, if you do the math on it, that's only 9 kids each.
Right.
And then there's 1,400 descendants from one person. How did she know them all by name?
I know, that's amazing.
How can you have 1,000 grandchildren? Oh, great-grandchildren. But still, 150 grandchildren. How could you even keep up?
You spend your whole life just writing birthday cards and
can you imagine
each of them $5.
Can you imagine her wallet if she kept pictures? Oh, let me show you my grandchildren. Well, what's that? Oh, this is my wallet. Well, it's a charcoal well. Well, I have 150 grandchildren.
This a month later, this is Billy. And this is Susie.
Billy Bob, I don't think that's a good, strong Jewish
name. A good Orthodox Jewish name.
I don't.
They didn't follow in the faith.
And here's Abraham.
We're supporting Billy Bob's parents.
Oh, my goodness.
You know, Jackie's dad had 13 kids.
Mm-hmm.
So
she has 12 other siblings.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's amazing. I have 0 siblings. I'm an only child.
I have 2.
One of which I've never met. I don't even know his name.
You don't? Mike.
Mike.
I always liked that name, too.
Is it Mike?
Mike McMahon.
Mike McMahon.
I always liked that name.
Christy, I know quite well. I have never met Mike. Here's a story. Do you like eating at Wendy's?
I do.
I used to. Their food, it seems that it's gone downhill here for me.
I like Wendy's. I don't ever eat there. I don't know why. I do like it. In fact, I prefer it far over McDonald's. I eat at McDonald's far more than Wendy's.
That's because McDonald's fries are incredible.
It's because they're more convenient. They're right around the corner.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
More of them.
Here's a guy here from our home state of North Carolina, a doctor at Duke, world-renowned Duke University Medical Center.
Yes.
The University of New Jersey at Durham, otherwise known as Duke. This guy who has been plagued with coughing fits I mean, would just start coughing uncontrollably. Keep going, and they keep seeing this thing in his lung. They don't know what this is. Nobody's willing to operate. Finally, he finds this dude here at Duke University. He's like, yeah, I'll operate on you, because he goes in, doesn't have to cut the lung. He goes down the bronchial tubes. He removed a 1-inch piece of plastic from his lung, where it has rested since he apparently inhaled it nearly 2 years ago while sucking down a soft drink at a Wendy's restaurant. Doctors say the plastic fragment of an eating utensil with the Wendy's logo still legible on the side was likely to blame for the coughing, fatigue, and pneumonia spells that plagued John Manley for almost 2 years.
Wednesday.
Yeah, September the 10th, they went into his left lung. He's a 50-year-old man from Wilmington, North Carolina. He said he probably inhaled it while gulping a drink from Wendy's. I like to take big gulps of drink, he says. I don't.
7-Eleven customer.
Exactly. Exactly. One doctor said they could remove my lung. I said, no way. That was the easiest way for them. And I said, I didn't think so. So they removed it. The doctor removed it. They pulled it out of the operating room. And he said, we were looking at it when we realized there are letters on it. We started reading out loud. A-M-B-U-R-G-E-R. And realized it is spelled hamburgers. Upon further investigation, they figured it was, they saw Wendy's motto on there, old-fashioned hamburgers. The doctor, and this is what I was telling you earlier, said foreign objects in the lungs are much more common in children, but he's extracted false teeth, nails, and even peanut from adults who have held items in their mouth and accidentally sucked them in. Patients often don't realize there's a problem until their bodies begin to react. He said the piece of plastic was the first. Nails? Yeah. Seriously, a nail in your lung?
I find that disturbing.
I mean, you know, spiders and other small insects I can see.
Right, yeah, accidentally a nail.
Fingernail, or food particles, but a nail.
False teeth didn't get you. I guess you can breathe in your false teeth.
In the middle of the night, your tooth drops out.
There you
go. Swallow it, and you don't know where it goes.
Oh, maybe carpenters have a nail in their mouth.
Yeah.
You know, and they pull them out and.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. But if that happened, wouldn't you immediately go to the emergency room? If I swallowed a nail, whether it
I just inhaled a nail.
whether it went down my esophagus into my stomach or down my bronchial tubes into my lungs, either way, I'm going to the hospital right then and there. How could you swallow a nail and not know it?
We had a story not long ago about a tree in somebody's lungs.
A tree.
It was growing in her lungs.
You know, they always say, my parents would tell me if I swallowed watermelon seeds, watermelon would grow in the stomach.
Inhale a seed and
apparently
grow in your lung.
Wow.
Well, speaking of trees being removed from your body parts, I have another good story.
Does it involve some fatal accident?
Woman survives being impaled in neck by 13-inch tree branch. The pictures were just pretty gruesome. A joyride through the wilderness of northern Idaho turned into a nightmare for 22-year-old Michelle Childers and her husband after a tree branch came crashing through a window of their truck, impaling Michelle in the neck. And I mean, the picture of this thing, it was big. Childers and her husband Daniel were driving along in the mountains of north central Idaho on September 5th when the accident happened. Michelle Childers literally didn't know what hit her. I asked my husband, where is it? Her husband answered, it's in your neck. About an hour late after the incident, Childers and her husband arrived at a lodge near Idaho-Montana border where a helicopter and ambulance were immediately called in. Childers was airlifted to St. Patrick Hospital in Missoula, Montana, where she underwent a 6-hour operation to remove the 13-inch spruce tree branch from her neck. She's now recovering at home.
I mean, seriously, she should not be alive. I mean, a piece of a limb that large. We're going to have 2 baby stories back to back.
Yes, like we plan this stuff.
It's like we plan it, and we don't.
We don't.
An Indonesian mom. Are you ready for this? She just gave birth to a 19-pound baby boy who was 2 feet long. $19.2 pounds. 19.2 pounds, 2 foot long, via C-section, of course. And that's all I was going to read about it. Anyhow, here's a picture. If you want to go look it up, you really need to see the picture. It's beside of another baby, which looks like an infant, and this looks like about a child pushing a year old.
He could eat that baby.
Right. I think he's getting ready to with this picture. If you look at this picture, I'm fairly sure he's hungry and he is going to eat the other infant. Wow. But I mean, isn't that huge? Did you?
Yeah.
We are being asked about the dust storm that hit Sydney. Did you see it?
I did. It was wicked looking. I mean, it was like the city was orange. It was orange. It was like a dust storm that hit Sydney, and it gave the entire. It was like an orange fog or an orange.
Oh my goodness!
Across the entire city, it was bizarre.
There's a picture.
It was like apocalypse time.
Look.
I mean, it was bizarre. No. And the entire. I mean, it was. Read about it.
Wow, that one of the worst dust storms in Australia's history has caused travel chaos, with many major flights redirected or canceled. The city's transport system virtually ground to a halt as a red hue reminiscence of a Mad Max film set descended on Sydney. Although Sydney Airport has not closed, at least 10 international flights and more domestic flights to the city have been redirected to either Melbourne or Brisbane because of poor visibility. Several New Zealand flights from Auckland, Wellington, and Christchurch also had to be turned back as the worst dust storm in living memory blanketed most of New South Wales state.
I mean, what's wicked about it, I mean, it literally is orange.
Yes. That does look, it looks like something from a
Easy for you to say.
apocalyptic film, does it not?
It does.
Wow. That is, and this is, I mean, this is what we provide here. Just off the cuff.
That's right.
As it's happening, a listener says, hey, did you hear about this? And we just go out and find it and bring it to you right now. I mean, we should get paid for this.
Michael Jackson kicks it. We let everybody know it right
immediately.
Immediately.
There were other news sources that had not even gone to press with it yet, and we're delivering the news to you as it happens. That's pretty remarkable. Wow, thank you, listener. That is a crazy picture.
It is.
So going from the 19-pound baby that eats smaller babies to...
I have a story from a baby that was born in Arkansas on September 11th. At least it will be easy to remember their birthdays. An Arkansas couple welcomed a new baby girl into their lives Wednesday, giving her the birthday. She was born on 9/9 of 09.
Mm-hmm.
Giving her the birthday of 9/9/09. Andy and Allison Miller's newest daughter, Molly Reed, will come home to her sister Campbell, who was born on August 8th of 2008, 8/8 of 08. The coincidences don't stop there. Molly Reed has 9 letters in her name, while Campbell has 8.
Mm-hmm. And their older brother, Damien, was born in June 6th, 2006.
And they have the Millers don't appear to be poised to go for their third child on 10/10 of 2010.
Maybe they should try it.
Maybe they should. They said they're going to take a rest.
You know, there was a story I read about a baby that was born September 9th, 2009, at like 9:09, and it weighed 9 pounds 9 ounces.
Oh, really?
Because I was reading the story, and the mother said we was born 999, and then the child weighed 9 pounds 9 ounces, and we're like, wow, everybody's kind of chuckling. And no, it was at 9:09, and then they said weigh it, and someone said I bet it weighs 9 pounds 9 ounces, and everybody kind of laughed, and the nurse was like, it weighs 9 pounds 9 ounces. And she said
if it didn't, I'd around it.
The whole delivery room erupted in laughter. I thought that was a pretty good story too.
That is cool. Well, I've got one more good story.
But check out this picture real quick. Look at that. Yeah, that's crazy. That would be freakish. Yeah. Okay. Go ahead.
If you're are you left-handed?
I am not.
You're not? Do we know any left-handed people? Mike's left-handed.
Mike is left-handed.
Jackie's left-handed, but it really wouldn't work for her.
Wait a minute.
Store launches underpants from left-handed men. This is what's been missing. A British store is launching a range of underpants for left-handed men, an invention it says will save them both time and embarrassment in front of the porcelain. The new range, by UK-born Horn, will have horizontal opening instead of a vertical slit, accessed from the right side, breaking a tradition that has lasted for 75 years. In our view, this is a vital step toward equality from left-handed men.
Oh my God.
Almost 10% of British men are believed to be left-handed, but men's Y-fronted underpants have traditionally had a right-handed opening from the time they were invented in 1935. As a result, left-handed men have had to reach further into their pants, perform a Z-shaped maneuver through 180-degree angles before achieving the result that right-handed men perform with ease.
I'm trying not to be too graphic here, Eric, but when I take a leak, well, in my house, and I'm not ashamed to admit this, I sit down just like the girls.
Mm-hmm.
When I'm in public, I pull my underpants down. I don't pull my business through that
opening?
Well, I don't wear those kind anyhow. I wear something else. So
if I'm at a urinal, absolutely I do.
Really?
Yeah.
I find it much easier just to pull my underpants down.
See?
Oh, weird. Okay.
Previously, boxer shorts with an adaptive ambidextrous opening in the middle have been the underpants of choice for left-handed men.
Why don't they just wear a thong in reverse?
The new pants mean that left-handed men can finally go to the bathroom as quickly and efficiently as right-handed colleagues. Switching the opening from vertical to horizontal may sound like a small step, but it's a major breakthrough that many have been waiting for.
I'm sure they have. Many have been waiting.
It's a UK invention.
There you go. Going from wearing underpants to not wearing any at all. See?
The segue.
The segue. You set me up right there. This is from my the county in which I was born, Palm Beach County, Lake Worth, Florida, about 20 minutes south of where I lived. Authorities say a 91-year-old South Florida man jumped out of bed naked and held an intruder at gunpoint until deputies arrived. Palm Beach County Sheriff Office said Robert E. Thompson woke up Saturday morning after a would-be burglar climbed his backyard fence and was met by his charging dog, a Rottweiler and Doberman Pinscher mix. Thompson heard the commotion, grabbed his .38 revolver, and phoned police without ever getting dressed. Deputies say Thompson fired a warning shot as 26-year-old Jose Pascual started to come toward him. Thompson kept his gun trained on Pascal until deputies arrived. He was booked in the Palm Beach County Jail on a burglary charge and did not immediately have an attorney. Here in North Carolina, if you or I had done that, we would actually be in quite a bit of legal trouble because we're not allowed to hold someone at gunpoint.
Right.
That is considered deadly force.
It is.
So,
plus it's cruel and unusual for a 91-year-old naked man.
Right.
To hold somebody captive. But hey,
right.
I have a story.
I say good for the man.
I do too.
I think it's an awesome story.
I do too. I have a story about a woman being attacked at night.
Okay.
A large water rat sneaked into a motorhome and attacked a woman as she lay in her bed after she had mistaken the animal for her three-legged cat. Marsboro woman Lynn Henderson needed hospital treatment after being attacked in her motorhome at Spring Creek Holiday Park on Tuesday. A permanent resident at the park expressed that she remembered feeling an animal jump onto her bed. She assumed it was her three-legged cat reached out to pat the animal which reacted by latching onto her upper lip.
It's got mean, nasty.
And fled after Miss Henderson's husband, Neil, turned on the lights. It was about 9 inches long, very round and cuddly. Well, violent, actually, he told the newspaper. Mr. Henderson fetched an air rifle, but he could not get close enough to the animal because it was bouncing off the walls, ripped off the toilet paper holder, and clean off. He fired one shot into the body of the rat, which made a hell of a squeal, and ran out the door, which they have not seen since. I don't believe he actually hit it.
I don't believe he did either.
I think he was just trying to...
He was gloating for the paper. Yes. I hope that a rat has never crawled into the bed with me. I'm not fond of rats. Mice are okay, but rats, especially one that's 9 inches long, that would be disturbing.
That would be.
Like in the Nutcracker, the rats that come out with knives and stab the people to death.
I also find three-legged cats disturbing.
I have a picture right here. Right here.
You might have done this. I know your love for cats.
This is quite, even though I'm not the fondest of cats, I don't hate cats.
No, you don't.
I prefer dogs.
Mm-hmm.
This is a short story. This comes out of the UK.
Mm-hmm.
Another story from the UK. Duct tape cat saved. $1,000 reward offered in animal abuse case. This was sent to us by a listener.
Yes.
A cat was covered in duct tape from head to toe and dumped in a garden in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Actually, this is from Philadelphia, but this comes from a UK newspaper. Anyhow, the SPCA is offering a $1,000 reward, leading to information on the conviction of the person who wrapped the female cat. A woman spotted the feline wandering, covered in tape from neck to tail, and brought the animal to the Humane Society. Medical staff were able to successfully cut off the tape, and the black and tan striped cat is recovering. Video of the cat after removal shows a seemingly happy animal, purring and apparently unafraid of its human handlers. They have nicknamed the cat Sticky. And then here is where I get frustrated with the animal lovers, which I am one. This is a very sweet cat. I can't imagine someone doing this to this cat. I mean, this is a domestic cat. Obviously, it was owned and handled very easily, and they're being all. I mean, it was probably
school kid.
It's probably maybe not the nicest thing to do. The cat was not injured. The cat was still happy and not afraid of humans. Should it have been done? No. Is it abuse? I mean,
yeah, it's abuse.
But we have people that are abusing children in this country every day that we
there's
let out of jail.
There's more important things to get upset over.
Right.
Sure. I mean, that is abuse.
I don't think
I'm not a big
abuse.
I'm not a big cat. Yeah, it is.
I mean, how so? We have a caller we're going to take on air. Okay. Caller, you're on the air.
All right, it's about time. Hey, I just tuned in at the end of the taking a leak stories, and I didn't know if you shared the story about the pee-pee man.
That's more visual. It's a much. Our caller is referring to an office building that we both used to work at. And up on the fourth floor of this building, there would be a man that I nicknamed Pee-Pee Man, who would go into a stall and bounce up and down for 10, 15, 20 minutes at a time, making weird and strange noises, including grunting noises.
Can you mimic those noises?
Like that. As he was bouncing up and down.
Urinating.
I hope that's what he was doing. I'm not, to be honest with you, I'm not sure what he was doing.
Was he left-handed?
Maybe he was left-handed, and this was the struggle of getting into the right-handed underpants.
I think we've on to something.
Maybe he was one of the 10%.
Yes.
Yes, and there was one particular time that I went there, and he was doing this when I got in the bathroom. I took a leak. I washed my hands. I left. I went and got a coworker who didn't believe me, and we came back. All this was about 10 minutes worth. Come back in there, and he's still standing in there bouncing up and down. We stayed in the bathroom for probably 2 or 3 minutes because he couldn't believe what was happening. And when we left, it had been at least 12 minutes. And he was still in there bouncing up and down and grunting.
He's probably trying to do that Z-shaped maneuver with 2 180-degree angles. I think that's
Caller, I think we have finally figured out the issue was he was left-handed. And he was using a brief designed for a right-handed individual.
Yes.
Is that what it was?
Obviously.
Well, he could probably get some of these new underpants in. It will save him a considerable amount of bouncing.
And less grunting.
Well,
I bet it's great.
You'll have to save the scooter story for later.
Yeah, I will save Scooter Store for another time when we have another bathroom-related story.
If he had just raised his hand sooner, we might have got to it this show.
Yeah. Had I not tuned in the last 15 minutes.
Exactly. Unlike our UK correspondent who was here like 5 minutes before the show even started.
That's right.
Yeah.
His coffee and his whiskey, and he's ready to go.
That's how we recommend you listen to our show, by the way.
Coffee and whiskey?
If you aren't inebriated when you start, you probably will be by the time it's over.
Whiskey makes our show much more funny.
Not much more. It actually makes it funny. Or tolerable, some may say. I don't know. Well, thank you for calling in and recommending that story because it goes right along with our underpant and peeing story.
Indeed.
So are we on for dinner?
Yes.
Are you going to join us for the after show?
Yes.
Oh, well, very good. Well, we'll see you in a few minutes then.
All right.
We'll talk to you later.
All right, bye.
Last story, and it's not a funny story, but I didn't want to get to it. Didn't that gentleman that bounced up and down grunted, didn't he work at a bank?
Yes, he did.
Okay. Well, this is about a bank. This is about Bank of America.
Bank of America.
Bank of America, well, they draw fire for pulling U.S. flags from the property. Bank of America put U.S. flag in its logo, draws fire for pulling U.S. flags from its property. With a name like Bank of America, it was particularly surprising when a branch manager from South Carolina ordered the removal of a U.S. flag honoring a fallen soldier from the bank's property. Brenda Earls of Gaffney, South Carolina, tried to honor her next-door neighbor, Marine Lance Corporal Christopher Folks, who was recently killed by a roadside bomb in Afghanistan, by planting flags along the route of the casket, the casket would follow. But a Bank of America branch manager pulled the flags from the bank's property, citing corporate policy. Bank of America, which has received $45 billion in federal loans as part of the government rescue of the financial industry, apologized for the incident, calling it a terrible mistake. Customers have already begun canceling their accounts in protest.
Good for them. The Bank of America. That's the name of the bank.
Right.
The used to be number 2 bank in America. No longer. I won't tell who has beaten them out in multiple categories. However, that's a pretty deplorable. There was a story not long ago about a woman who had an American flag up in her cube and was made to take it down. And she made a fuss about it, and then they told her she could put it back up because someone else had complained about it, said it was.
I know we're running out of time, but the person was out there putting the signs in the yard. The branch manager ran out of the bank, told her customers he couldn't do it. He says, you can't do that. And she says, you mean we can't plant American flags? He says, the manager said it's against the policy flying any flag, including the American flag. She said, the American flags? She uttered in disbelief. This is a financial institution. It's our policy, he said.
Well, for Bank of America, they are receiving our sheep awards.
Absolutely.
That's what we say to the Bank of America. I do not bank with them. Nor
do I.
Exactly. And we recommend that you don't do that.
Indeed.
Well, thank you. We've had a good time. Thank you for sticking to 70s. You are a great, loyal listener. Hope you get some sleep and have a good day at work tomorrow. And for the rest of our listeners, talk to you next week.
This has been Blog Talk Radio's The Incoherent Ramblings of CNE. Christopher and Eric are your hosts, and we would like to thank you for listening to our show today. Don't forget to tune in for next week's show live from Greensboro, North Carolina, as we are every Thursday from 6 to 7 p.m. Eastern Time.